they're planning this idea, and the dad is an asshole. Like, complete. Fisher's a victim, like, through and through.
The poor guy.
Yeah. He said I was disappointed in me.
Yeah.
But in the end, it might be a lie, but they did something nice.
They made him. They probably made him think about his dad in a better way than he actually was.
Yeah. My dad actually loved me.
Hello and welcome to the Crabbed House Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Inception, the 2010 film. Just in case there's a new one. My name is Bryce. I'm joined by Matt Skeets.
Hey.
And Kieran.
Hello.
So quick recap for Inception. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a man called Cobb, and him and his team of professional thieves are specializing in the art of entering people's dreams and stealing information right out of their heads, preferably without them even knowing.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do the actors, who they play and what they're out of?
I didn't know anyone in this.
You didn't know anyone?
No,
So
I couldn't recognize any of them.
Yeah, so his first hit movie, I think his name's Leonardo DiCaprio. You might not have heard of him. No.
Is that how you pronounce it? Okay.
Well, how do you pronounce it?
Never mind, it's a bad joke.
God, I really wanted to just say DiCaprio another way. Anyways, so he's out of Titanic, Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant, The Departed, Django, and Shutter Island. Anything else notable?
Nothing.
Okay.
I feel like the big names you can just kind of skip over.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows who he is.
We be reminded though.
But then we've got Elliot Page, who plays Ariadne in Juno.
That is like the worst name, and every time they said it, like,
Ariadne.
why?
Yeah.
What?
I thought that so they're in Paris when they meet her.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she's going to be French. She's not French.
No, that was just a way because they could go to America.
Umbrella Academy, Hard Candy, X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Days of Future Past, and Whip It.
Juno.
I said Juno. That was the first one.
Did you?
Yeah. And then I said Umbrella Academy and then went off on a tangent.
I didn't hear Juno either.
Then we got Kieran's boy, Joseph Gordon
Levitt,
playing Arthur. He's in Looper. Don John. Don't know what's Don John.
The sex addictive one, isn't it?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. The Dark Knight Rises, 10 Things I Hate About You, and Project Power.
Third Rock from the Sun.
And Third Rock from the Sun.
He's famous.
That wasn't in the top
I
5.
think that's the first time I saw him.
That's why he's famous.
Yeah, not to me. Then you got Tom Hardy, my boy. He plays Eames. He's in the 2015 Mad Max, Venom, The Dark Knight Rises, where he plays Bane, Legend, The Revenant, Dunkirk, and Bronson. Then we got Cillian Murphy, who plays Fisher.
Plays Bronson from Around the Twist.
Yeah.
Bronson!
Cillian Murphy, who plays Fisher. He's in Peaky Blinders, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight.
A lot of Batman.
A lot of Batman.
In these.
And then he's in Dunkirk and 28 Days Later. Then we have Marion Cotillard.
Sure.
Would that be her name?
There's a question mark.
Who plays Maul. She's also in The Dark Knight Rises. And La Vie en Rose. I don't know. Sounds not English. Then Allied, Assassin's Creed, and Public Enemies.
Sounds not English.
And
I thought that was
obviously French, right?
I thought that was an actress's name. What's wrong with she?
And then finally we have, part of my list, Ken Watanabe, who plays Saito, who's in The Last Samurai. He's in Godzilla 2014, Godzilla King of Monsters 2019, Batman Begins, Memoirs of a Geisha, and Detective Pikachu.
What is he in Batman Begins? Is he...
Been so long.
I'm not too sure.
Oh, okay. That was really good of us.
You're not forgetting Michael Caine, are you?
Who's Michael Caine?
A boy. Do the accent.
Cobb's dad. What are you talking about?
Alfred.
Oh, yeah. See, he was in it for like 6 minutes. I wasn't,
Yeah. Godzilla.
Yeah, boy, he was in it.
Godzilla was in that 2014 movie for 7 minutes, and it's named after him. So
Are you serious?
yeah.
Oh God. So yeah, one thing you learn from this list is that Christopher Nolan loves to have the same people on his movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems like it.
All right.
Where do we start?
Where do we start? We'll start where the movie starts and start 3/4 of the way through the movie.
Yeah.
It's more than that. It's like 7/8 of the way through the movie.
They're very reliant on, like, straight away they throw all these ideas at you.
Yeah.
Like, remember everything that goes on here.
It's very weird because it's like you wake up on the beach
Mm.
and then you're in front of an old guy and you're like, what's
Been
I
there
don't get
before,
it.
really.
And then it goes shum, and it changes, and now the old guy's young, and Leonardo or Cobb, he's completely different. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like that was the idea that I had the first time I watched it. The second time, it's like, oh,
The start's
I get
actually
it.
very clever because it sets up everything in the rest of the movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say about it, Matt?
No, continue.
Did you love it?
I mean, it was alright.
I didn't have the
I was pretty
details
lost.
of everything at the start. Did you have anything you wanted to go into?
Nothing really. Like you hear that there's a slight rumbling in the background that gets louder.
Yeah.
And that's because they're in that. You find out that they're in a dream within a dream.
Yeah.
That's when you.
That second world, is the subconscious turning on them? Is that where that crowd is coming towards that building? Or does that
See, that's a
Sato just
Actually,
like...
that's why Saito was trained to defend against it or whatever.
Oh, he has that as well.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, as what that what's his name? So the Fisher guy has later on.
Mm.
We learn. Just
I think
Yeah.
that's how it is, right?
It might be that, but that's a weird thing to have train for, right? To have
but that
people
was his
come in
house. Where does he live then?
and yeah, I'm confused about
what is that mob? I'm assuming that's the subconscious in that world. Like they've already been caught in that world, so they went into the next one. A lot of silence. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, no, that's I never thought that deep on the first bits.
Yeah, no, same.
So it doesn't really make sense that they would go into a dream and then go one level deeper without already interrogating, or did they do that with the intent that if they fucked up in the first world, in the second dream, they could come up a level and then try again there?
Yeah, it could be. Or it gets blurrier for Sato.
Or right, it's that extra. I don't know what that guy's name was. That extra guy at the beginning. It's safer to go into the. Do you have his name?
The other architect? Is that
Yeah, that first architect. Yeah.
No, I didn't get his name.
So you go into his dream, his world, which is safer because then Saito can't have control in that one. So like you have pretty much complete control, and then you go into Saito's dream to unlock to get his subconscious, but on the second level.
Yeah. But you see straight away all their flaws in the...
Could be a time thing too.
Yeah?
To get more time.
They did show... That was cool how they showed the clock in one place and then they zoomed in it as they went into the other and it was even slower.
Yeah, it's slowing down, yeah.
And damn it, how did I miss that?
Really? Oh, they had...
I'm not very perceptive.
There was so much at the start. You saw straight away Maul interrupts and there's a weird exchange.
That is so confusing.
Yeah.
When the first time you watch it.
Like,
it's
what's with the dialogue here? And why is she so odd? Then she turns on him,
and she disappears and stuff, and it's like, okay.
And they're trying to get the idea from Sato. That's the whole point of the start.
Yeah.
And then straight away, you see that Arthur, he has his own flair when he creates, he architects a world. So the flair, Maul points out, "I know your decor," which is really Cobb's subconscious pointing that out. So that's why later on you see he learns not to, he doesn't look at it anymore. And that's why I think they get the architect, because he has a certain flair, so he's caught onto that. And then when you get into the next world, the other guy doesn't go into the fine details, which he finds out with the carpet, which is supposed to be wool and it's polyester. Is that right?
The other way around. I think it's wool and it's meant to be polyester.
Oh, right, yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing. One thing I like when, the cross dream sort of thing, so when they do their kick, So when Cobb falls into the bathtub of water in the dream below in the second level, water just starts bursting through all the windows, and it's like,
cool shit.
that's cool.
Yeah. And that was also collapsing because Arthur had been kicked out and he was architect of that world. He was the first.
Oh, that's why it's.
He's the first one. That's why this whole place started blowing up. And he said, "Oh, the dream's collapsing."
I was hell wondering that earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what happens if that person leaves? But that makes sense, yeah.
There was a lot of questions in this movie that I didn't think it answered, and it had. I just hadn't paid attention the first time I watched it. Yeah, so Sato is catching on to it. So he knows all about the whole technology they're using. Anything else to add? Was there anything else about their flaws? There was different details why they actually needed a proper team, because all their shit was just, it all went wrong trying to trick him into getting whatever they're after, some plans or something.
I should have went back and watched the intro scene.
Matt, it was so good.
Damn it. Because a lot of that didn't really make any sense until later.
Yeah.
But
Then we have, well, we learn about totems later, but you see the spinning top.
Yeah,
you?
the spinning top that has like heaps of significance, but they don't really jump into it. Like with his spinning top, he's like it. So he's saying that the totem is Mole's idea. Is the spinning top hers?
I think he says that later on.
I mean, that was her. She had it locked in the safe and whatnot.
Right.
It's dumb. You're not supposed to have someone else's totem.
Yeah. So like, I don't want to jump straight into that end bit.
Yeah.
But I do.
You can wait.
No, I'll wait. I'll wait. I just got to read a bit here.
Well, I just have it. Sato basically wants them to plant an idea.
Oh yeah, they want. So Inception is creating an idea in someone's head, but creating it in a way that it makes their brain think that they made the idea themselves, rather than having someone else tell them the idea and then it manifesting that way.
Yeah.
And everyone says it's impossible. Inception's impossible, except Cobb, who says he's done it before.
Cobb and
It doesn't expand on it.
Eames.
You don't know why or who or anything like that.
It's possible. I just like that they're under a helicopter having a casual conversation. You wouldn't be able to hear anything.
But when they walk away, you see the ripples in all the puddles and everything. So the helicopter was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. You wouldn't be able to shouting back and forth at all. And then you see, as a result, Cobb will get what he wants. Did they explain it there? That he'll be able to return?
Yeah, he'll be able to get back to America. He's like, how can I trust that you'll get me back there? He's like, you can't, but I will.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And apparently they're loaded from the dream, whatever their technology is. They're flying in like private jets.
They
and
must
shit.
get so much money from that.
But they can't get back to America.
What is he? So that architect though, it's like
that dubs him in.
Well, I'm not sure if he got dubbed in or he just got caught.
Apparently, he ratted him out.
Oh, did he rat him out?
Yeah.
Is that what happened? What a prick.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what are you going to do to him? And it's like, I'm not going to do anything. We can't say the same for this other company that's chasing. And it's like,
they're dragging him off.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay. That's rough.
Well, he's out of the film. That's why I didn't write down his name.
Yeah.
And the idea they want to implant or do is to break up an empire, Fisher Morrow, which they want the son to break it up because he's about to inherit it, as we find out. Because I forgot the guy's what his name is, but it's based in Sydney. This company.
No, I think he just flies between. For some reason, him every 2 weeks. He makes a trip between Sydney and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the same thing was happening in Lost, but the same thing was happening in Lost.
Yeah, right.
And there was no they clearly thought we don't want to film this stuff in Sydney, so just do it in a room and no Australians anywhere. There's no proof. There's no mainly English people in that.
Wait, so they went back to they went to Sydney.
Yeah. And
that's
then
that's
Arthur was in Sydney as well. That's where the guy was.
Doesn't Australia and the United States have like extradition orders?
Like what?
Or like so the law laws. So it's like, hey, if we get a criminal that you're after, we can deport them to you.
Why, you reckon they would have called onto Cobb?
So they would have seen Cobb and be like,
Cobb
hey,
maybe
bud.
didn't technically actually get into the place. He just went on another plane and left.
Yeah, mate.
He didn't
Yeah,
visit
but he's
Sydney.
still-
We had no proof anyone went to Sydney, really.
Yeah.
I just love that it's one of Sato's lines. It's like, they were like, okay, what we need to do is we need to pay off a air hostess. We need to buy out the whole cabin, and we need to fly on a certain plane. And then Sato's like, yeah, I just bought the airline. It's like, how much money do you got, motherfucker?
Yeah.
You can own the world.
Buy that guy's business.
I can't remember what business he was in.
was that?
Export, import.
Was it?
No.
No, it was energy, I think.
Like he
Wasn't it?
controlled all of it except the company that they're trying to dissolve. I can't remember
something.
what.
The
So you reckon this
biggest-
was a metaphor for Disney?
The fuck are you talking about?
Disney
I'm
just buying
I'm just
everything
saying
they
what
can.
you're saying.
Never mind. But he is a rich motherfucker.
So then, well, not then. It's probably a bit before that. So that's his father, right? What's the old bloke's name?
Michael Caine.
Dad.
Dad. That's
Daddy.
it. That is his dad.
Yeah.
And he's in Paris, right?
No, the
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah.
He's in Paris.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
in-
I thought the one in the hospital bed.
No, sorry, not that.
Oh.
So Cobb's dad.
He's in Paris. He runs like an architect school. Or
Yeah.
University or something.
And then that's
But
where
no one speaks French.
Yeah.
One's English and one's American in there.
Um.
And
And
I had
that-
the bit of the X-Men case where no one's in that school besides
Yeah.
those two.
Yeah.
All right.
Class has ended, yo. That's where you meet Ariadne, and then he's like, tests her. He's like, I want you to draw 2 minutes to draw a maze that takes 1 minute to solve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was just being silly about it.
Well, she's like, that's not what I'm at school for. I make buildings. Why do I have to make masons?
Because you're an architect and you've got to be fancy in design. And then, so they go through and so it's a thing where she'd know that she's been put into a dream,
Yeah.
but when she's in the dream, she doesn't know. So they're walking around having a great time. And then shit starts exploding when she realizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she
Because
comes
that's when we learn the things. You have the dreamer, which builds
Yeah.
the world, and the subject populates it with the subconscious, which
Yeah.
is the projections. A lot of words.
all the people you see.
People there are projections. So they must be from memory. So that's, you don't just make people up. They're people you know. You just
Yeah,
feel it.
what's to stop you creating more of people you know that are already in the dream?
Yeah.
Well,
Or
so
is
you
your
start
subconscious-
realizing you'll ruin it.
Mm.
That's why they all start looking at the person.
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying when they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't mess with the world too much, otherwise the subconscious is like, hey, let's get rid of this person.
Mm. Is backing up a bit. Is what was that?
Ariadne.
Ariadne.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Is she a full-time student?
Not anymore.
Well,
She's flunking.
Oh, I don't want any. Basically, they're hesitant with each other. And he's like, all right, fine, you can have my best student.
Yeah.
And fuck up her whole
For all this criminal activity.
Oh, yeah. She's just trying to learn. It's like, I know you've robbed before, but yeah, Heather.
I mean, he's right. It is like a good opportunity for her. She can build shit that she could, only imagine, I guess.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
So,
And then the real
it's
world's
kinda
not the
win-win.
same.
Yeah. Apart from doing illegal activities and shit, but
Yeah, but it's like, it's only taking an idea or implanting it. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's quite simple. So they used to use they never really explain what the machine is that they use, right?
Except for the military.
Yeah. They just say that it was used in military combat simulation sort of thing.
Yep, so they could kill people and then wake up.
But they never go, hey, this suitcase is called
Sooty case.
Suitcase. The dreamy suitcase.
The suitcase. Would they have to inspect every single element of how that suitcase is constructed for it to be like the architect would have to make it in each of the dreams?
Pretty
And
much.
they would
yeah.
have to learn how it works, surely.
or it's like a thing where, because in dreams, I don't know in your dreams, but when I've dreamed, it's like I know things or things just work.
Which they explain.
Yeah.
Do they?
They say with a dream, you don't know how you got there, and you don't know if a dream until you wake up. So all the little details seem correct.
They
at the
seem
time,
real,
but
yeah.
then you wake up, you're like, no, that was all weird.
Yeah. So then it's fine. It just works.
Well,
because they just start
why
pulling.
does it have to look like the suitcase?
What is it?
It'll be a massive machine they step in.
There's when they're on the snow, we're in the snow bit. Eames just pulls one out of his bag. It's like, where'd you get that from?
No, are you talking about when they say to go into one more, the limo thing?
Yeah.
No. What, you just carrying that around?
Here's one I prepared earlier.
So they want to build a team, and it's got to be. They already started doing it with the architect, but they want. What was Ames's? I didn't write down the position. It started with C.
I didn't get his title either.
Yep. I did not.
I don't know. He's full on like psychiatrist and.
But he impersonates people in the dreams.
Chameleon.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a chameleon job.
No, I have no idea what it was.
And I can't think of a word that relates to that. Coverage. Cover.
That might be it. Constantinople.
Yes.
Cobb.
Contiki?
Cunt.
Dom Cobb.
Dumb.
Oh wait, we didn't. And then I'm just gonna say Elliot Page's character because I don't care for that name. They learn that Maul keeps interrupting.
Yeah, Maul keeps getting in shit.
Yeah, she showed up on the bridge.
Yeah, but their character clicks on quite fast. It's like, who was that crazy bitch? And what does
Why does she keep coming back?
Yeah.
Why do they keep talking about her? And then it's a thing where Cobb gets, I guess he has to dream, so they make him dream every night. And then you got Yusuf who's there like, good night, whatever. And then...
They don't make him, he's doing something.
Well, yeah,
he's making a prison.
He's playing with himself pretty much.
No, he's making a prison. Trying to imprison her.
You don't think he already has that?
No.
You don't reckon he just goes in there and hangs out? Like that's his dream. Like that's all he dreams of.
It's bad though.
That's terrible. It's horrible.
Because you see the train. Like if you forgot the train memory, the train might not interrupt later on.
Yeah, that's true.
I
don't think that was. I never thought that was his memory.
The train.
The train.
That's how they get got.
Ariadne's going down the lift and the train goes past and they.
I could have sworn that when that train comes through, that was. Well, I always believed it was part of Fisher's subconscious security to just throw trains at people. I guess that doesn't make sense at all.
That's definitely his memory. He brought that in.
What a prick.
Very
There wasn't even any rails there.
No. No, you saw the road. It's just smashing it up as it was driving through.
That's going to take so much to fix. In
Yeah,
that
we
train.
jumped forward quite a bit, didn't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
So 1 hour in the 1 hour in the dream is 5 minutes in the real world, and that's without any fancy potions, elixirs, medicine. What is it called? Sedation.
Sedative.
Which is that's a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And then if you go,
It goes quick in there.
Like-
Well, though, when we're watching.
yeah. Well, I guess you can't have an hour. Yeah, that's yuck.
I wanted the year.
But then, what is it? Later they talk about with the sedative, it compounds it. I was meant to do math on this, but I forgot to. But then he says 5 minutes. No, was it 10 hours?
Oh, hang on. I wrote it down somewhere.
Like something that went to 6 months, which went to 10 years.
It went. I think it might have been.
It was a week, then 6 months, then 10 years.
Yeah, I think it might be the 10 hours on the plane is a week, and then the next level, it's the 6 months, and then the next level is the 10 years.
Yeah.
Don't know how. That gets quickly out of hand.
Yeah.
And
we're not talking about the planning. All the good planning that went on. I think it's clever. It's like a heist movie. And they're all planning, but instead they're just planning for the brain. And then you have their little idea. Don't laugh at me, you two. The little idea they're planning is my father doesn't want me to be him.
Yeah.
And that it has to. Eames said it has to be
Relationship
basic,
with the father.
or it won't really stick.
Yeah. Which is weird because don't want to jump ahead again, but when Eames is playing Browning, he pretty much tells him that. He's like, doesn't he?
Mm.
Yeah,
like,
but then
you don't want to be your father, or like that was it. Like that was part of the wheel.
That's the start of the planning, and then you see later on when they go in, when they fake the father, or whatever happens, or does Fisher control that memory, and he leads it that way, maybe.
What?
I don't know. Later, it's later
Yeah.
on.
I was
Also,
worried this was going to happen in the podcast.
what,
Get
that you
hella
didn't add
confused and
anything?
everyone's gonna- people are going to say shit, and the other two are going to be
It's
like, "What
'cause-
the hell are you talking about?"
I skip parts because I just assumed we would connect, but there's some little links missing.
Yeah.
So they get on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Eames steals his passport for some reason. Why does he do that? Oh, to make a connection so he can, and then the drink, and then no, that doesn't make sense either.
I think it was just a way to talk.
It doesn't
to him,
matter.
right? Just a way to open up.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter, probably.
Oh.
I don't know why it would.
Why would he? Yeah.
Oh, wait, the lady on the plane's part of the plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's paid off
Oh, right.
as well as the whole airline. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So
There's
they go.
This movie's the hardest fucking movie to talk about.
They go into the first layer of dreams. They have a great time. It's raining because someone didn't empty their bladder.
It goes to shit immediately.
Yeah, and it's like, well, that's cool. Everyone gets picked up. It's weird that they're not like hell scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of are, but not like further.
So subtle details like the radio's playing like music from wherever the taxi driver's from. Is that just imagined by their subconscious, or is she's listened to that music and she's implanted that into that? Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't think that far into it.
I just wondered, but I'm assuming it's part of the dream thing where your subconscious kind of fills out stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It implies it's like it's like those memes you say where it's like laughs in Spanish or something.
Yeah.
So it's like music plays in whatever you think that it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it tricks you into it, believing it. And
this is when our trainee boy comes in.
yeah, big.
Yeah.
Oh god, that could have ended badly. They could have died.
Yeah.
That could have been
It's a
terrible.
fucking train in the middle of the street.
And then armed guards start showing up.
Yeah.
And that's when we learn that people can be trained in their head
Yes.
to protect
defend.
themselves. Well, subconsciously protect themselves
Yes.
from, well, not Inception, but people getting in their dreams.
Mm. Wonder how you would teach someone that. Like, how does that work?
How do you teach someone subconscious, but they don't know?
I was gonna say, yeah.
What?
If you were dreaming and a bunch of armed guards shows up, like, if you were trained in that, wouldn't you know? Like, oh shit, there they are.
Imagine.
I have my dreams under attack.
Yeah.
Imagine.
This
How
is
do
my
they not know?
training.
Yeah.
Imagine that in your own dream. You just fucking start hanging out. No one's in your dream.
Yeah.
Then they just start trying to kill you.
And why does everyone
Yeah.
know about this technology? Or was
That is weird.
Saito here and this, what was the guy's business called? Fisher, Morrow.
Yeah.
Do they know? Have they, because it's so
apparently,
rich?
maybe it's just been like outlawed, and it's like rich people know about it.
Yeah.
They probably dabble in it, maybe.
Mm.
But yeah.
Oh, one thing, wait, in the planning, the chemists, they have a sedative that's stronger than the usual one because a normal kick would wake them up. But because they want to go on
Yeah.
so many dreams, it can't be a normal kick. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. So
Yeah, the sedative's too strong in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we're about to learn that there's a negative effect to doing that.
But also, they use sedatives within dreams.
Mm.
I just
Don't think about it.
yeah. Don't.
Do they? I thought they
yeah.
just hooked up and they just went.
We go back to the thing about the case. Like, how much detail is that
Yeah,
case?
yeah.
So they escape into a warehouse. Saito's been shot,
Hmm.
which is scary, and then Eames is going to shoot him, and then that's when you find out
Yeah.
that you can't come out through death and normal kicks or
I
whatever.
like the way he says it too. He's like, we're in a dream. If you kill them, they wake up.
Yeah.
That's
That's
how
what
it works.
that's what everyone else is thinking. Like, yeah, and it's like, wait,
It's
what?
like, no, Cobb tricked us. None of us would have come in
Big
and
tricky
done
boy.
this. Yeah.
And then he yells at Arthur, and he's very emotional about it.
Mm.
And I felt sorry for Joseph in that one.
He is a bully.
Um,
Joseph's character is very bland, though.
that's not very nice.
There's not much going on with him.
We're talking about he's
He
like,
just fights with Eames.
so then they have to interrogate
Wait.
Fisher. Go
Before that,
before that.
I was going to say, if they die in this, then it's the first mention of limbo, which is meant to be like
I hope you can explain this because
unoccupied dream
he was
space.
like-
Raw.
It's just like nothing,
Yeah.
essentially.
Raw. Is
Unless
that the word they use?
they're with someone who's been there before. And then it's,
Okay.
and then it fills out with everything that he did down there.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I thought they were floating bits of the architect's ideas that are just floating down there. But yeah, that is.
But why do they call it limbo and not the fourth level?
I had questions about that later.
Yeah.
Because it's like death, but not dying.
Except you live forever.
Lost.
I'll wait till the
I
end.
do get it.
Spoilers for Lost.
So limbo's cool. An old man filled with regret waiting to die.
It's like, that's the start.
Yeah, that's the start.
It's going to happen now because they spoiled it.
Um,
Oh, wait. We are going to point out as well when anytime Cobb starts getting dodgy, Cobb sees his kids, but they never turn around. And then Maul shows up after that. Like a little warning for her.
she's coming.
Yeah, true.
Coming round the riverbend.
And he also mentions earlier, which we didn't say, they think he killed Maul.
Yeah.
Which, when you find out what happened, I think is really dumb. And
Why?
how could?
Why?
The fact she's on the opposite side of a building.
Yeah, they would have done logistics and stuff. But because she did what she did.
They must know about the technology then.
Huh? No, because she got herself cleared by psychiatrists, and then she put in like a police report sort of thing that's like, hey,
I'm scared for my life.
Yeah.
He's going to kill me.
And then
threaten me, blah, blah.
So it's like, we don't need to look into it. He did it.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
So don't do anything on the crime scene. Just go home.
How do you get into that business of Inception? Not Inception, the dream thing.
It seems like it led from the way Michael Caine was talking, like Cobb maybe was an architect or something related to that, and they used to use that technology to build stuff in the head. Because that's the way Michael Caine explains it.
Oh, so it wasn't used in the sense of getting in people's heads. It was just the military thing, and then maybe
and then maybe they experimented that. Oh, that'd be cool to see our actual buildings in real life.
And then someone went, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I think Michael Caine said something like, I trained you in this. What led you on this path or something?
Yeah.
I think Cobb was like, I've got the skills, but there wasn't really any legal way to use it. So he went into thievery, whatever, I guess.
Minesweeper.
I can't remember the actual phrasing.
Oh, does that suggest that maybe back in the day, Michael Caine was the architect and he used to make the whole place, whatever they were doing with it. Yeah. That was his old partner.
Perhaps.
And he's going to show up later.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. But then they talk about that Cobb and Mole were in limbo for 50 years. Not in limbo. Limbo.
Yeah,
it was
limbo, yeah.
And then
silly Billies.
Silly Billies trapped there for 50 years. And then when they finally woke up, they were old souls thrust into youthful bodies.
Yeah. Bit like Rick and Morty. When Morty lives that whole life out of that game.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
Which is like...
really fucked up.
Like would you be wiser having lived, like you don't have a whole lot of experience, but and also your brain would be mush.
Yeah. Do you create stuff just in front of you? You're like, I want to cross that river. So there's now a path there.
I want a river to cross.
Yeah.
Creates river. Creates path.
I didn't. The feeling that limbo place did not look nice to live.
No. Well, it probably used to.
Depends. You can build it any way you want.
Yeah, but it was like all just a city, like concrete city.
Yeah.
The only thing that looked cool was that little house on the water.
I guess that's because I assume he lived in the city or something, or they did.
Yeah,
Like, she grew up in this house, so that was there. Then the apartment they moved to, that was a big fucking house, so that was there. I don't know, if you lived in the country, it would probably be all a country town and whatnot. Right?
Yeah, mate. But what if you want to escape? But you don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, can you only build it based on what you've seen already?
Yeah, I wonder how strong they are in that world. And well, Bryce probably knows all the limitations to it.
I do, but we'll wait until the end.
Yeah.
So they have to get they're interrogating Fisher. They need to get a code out of him. That's when they send in Eames, and he's disguised himself as Browning, which is Fisher's uncle.
Uncle Pete.
Uncle Pete. Uncle Pete. And then
They called him that.
yeah. And yeah, so he tells him some information about a second will that can override the first will, which isn't real, of course, but to put the idea in his head, to kickstart the idea of his, yeah. And then the brain security people, the dream security, subconscious security, they show up and they start attacking the warehouse.
Did you feel sorry for Fisher? Like, they're planning this idea and the dad is an asshole. Like, completely. Fisher's a victim, like, through and through.
The poor guy.
Yeah. He's like, he said I was disappointed in me.
Yeah.
But in the end, it might be a lie, but they did something nice.
They made him. They probably made him think about his dad in a better way than he actually was.
Yeah.
My dad actually loved me.
So, they all show up. They start attacking. Arthur's trying to shoot him with a scar. Pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Did you write that down?
No. Missing all his shots, ACOG site.
Where do the weapons come from in the dream? Does the architect create them?
They just show up.
Does she look at blueprints of guns to make for the dream?
She didn't make that one, did she? That's
Oh, that's Yusuf's.
Yusuf's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Yusuf's world.
Did he look at pictures of guns? I wonder, because at the start, once again, Leo has a silencer pistol. Did he take that off someone? I want to know where these weapons are coming from. They must just
that is weird.
Think too much into like the objects.
Maybe it's
the
floating
dreams and shit.
like a video game, and he grabs.
Did he?
15 bullets.
And then Kieran's favorite lines comes up. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
Yeah, that's it.
And then Eames shoots a grenade launcher and blows that guy out. That poor sod.
I see a lot of the stuff Fisher says as well throughout this is the stuff they use in the trailer. Because he starts talking about dreams and all this other shit.
You watched the trailer recently?
No, I just remember.
It's been
And it has
11 years.
That meme where Leo squints.
What a
Did you not think of it when you watched?
No, I didn't. Oh, it's so good. And then they have to go do the Mr. Charles, which is something that they said didn't work the first time, but it involves telling the person that they're dreaming,
which is risky as fuck.
which is very risky, but you pose yourself as Mr. Charles, which is part of your subconscious that is running the security for your subconscious. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're in charge of your subconscious security, but they are your subconscious. It's weird to think about.
That makes sense.
Makes sense, but it's
Like you explained it well.
And then
Well, during that conversation, they say, as soon as he starts finding out his subconscious looks, they all start looking for the people that are intruding the dream, which the straight away, I don't know how he's focusing on upstairs. I guess once again, subconscious. Downstairs, they're focusing on Ariadne and Arthur, which they do that weird kiss scene.
Yeah.
That was,
Quick, kiss me.
Cheeky little
Skeetsy.
bugger. Yeah.
Okay. Worth a shot.
That's right.
But like, wouldn't you just fit in and start looking at everyone, go, oh,
Yeah.
trick, yeah.
And then we have Arthur. So what's he setting up a kick in that world, which is going to be the bombs, the C4, whatever, which will blow up.
So that's weird because like it's a thing where they've said they're going to drive the van off the bridge to create the kick. Now,
the water creates a kick there, doesn't it?
no, so there's the first kick,
2 kicks.
and then the hitting the water is a second kick. They set up the C4
Yeah.
on the floor below. I just don't get it. If it'd be the same, it would have been the same sort of thing, wouldn't it? To have the C4 underneath would push it up,
Yeah.
which would create the kick. But then he's like, "Oh, I can't do it." But it's like that's would have been the plan all along, and he has to put him in the elevator later.
I mean, I think the plan was to blow it up before the truck goes off the edge.
So before that first
So
kick,
it blows up.
or
so
as
they
that
fall-
first kick.
They fall in the hotel room.
Ah.
Then they wake up. Then the truck goes off the edge. Then they wake up again.
See, that's another thing. Would they fall, or would they just not explode? Like that'd kill them.
Which one?
The C4 on the floor beneath them would kill them, not make them fall.
Was it directly below them?
There's explosives that are like directional, right? Like claymores and shit. They only blow up one direction.
Yeah, I guess.
Explosions that breach walls and shit. They only go inwards.
Yeah, so that means that they'd have to blow up upwards. So the direction would have to
Oh,
be
I
to
see what you're
destroy it. So
saying.
it's like
It's
the
gonna blow the
explosion's
bits up.
going to hit them.
True.
Yeah.
Once
Anyways,
again, it's
I don't
so
know.
much to think about. Also, the van crashed before, and then none of them woke up or anything.
yeah, so that's
That's like pretty brutal.
which is so that's when they use the sedative within the dream.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. You know, that's a thing that I just don't that was pretty cool though, because they do that rollover and is that a fight scene then?
And that's a bit later.
That's going on.
That's when they're already.
They
in.
mix it in with
Okay,
the
so that's
snow one, don't they? Is the snow one the next one?
Yeah, it is the next one.
Yeah, the snow ones went. Yeah,
The truck flips when Arthur's by himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
But But he has a fight scene where it's toppling,
Yeah.
and then
he's fighting in the elevator hallways and all that.
Do you know they filmed that?
It's a rotating.
Yeah, it is. It's actually like a long room where they can just stick the camera at the end, and they're actually walking and rotating in that room as it happens.
Oh, really?
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
It was all practical and shit.
Yeah.
How did they do
I
the
don't know.
later one where they're just floating? Is that just
I don't know,
chords
it
and
made
stuff?
me laugh when he has the stack of people and he's just pulling them.
Yeah. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Housekeeping.
Yeah.
Hella
And you
serious,
put-
like
bring
tense
it-
scene.
Yeah.
Bring out your dead.
What's that?
Bring out your dead.
Just when he's like wrapping them up in the cord.
Yeah.
It looks
I
so
just
good.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. It's a funny sight. Yes, Bryce.
What's the next bit that happens? Oh,
Okay.
so they bring in Browning. So Browning comes to that room, but that's only because Fisher's subconscious made him do it. Fisher's subconscious made him come to that room because he's like, you know, who would betray me, sort of thing, or like who could it be? And then that he's been told that Browning is in on the dream above.
Yeah.
That he's part of their whole ploy.
Yeah.
And so Browning's meant to go in there to get into his brain. That's what he's
Well, they follow
been told.
Browning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they believe that. Yeah. I've lost myself. Oh, so then when Browning enters the room, it's like, we're going to go into...
Yeah, I thought it was Ames. I thought Ames was impersonating him
Yeah.
again.
But that's...
you can't touch Browning because all the subconscious would have been onto you. Because his subconscious created that Browning.
That Browning, yeah.
Are you asking if he's like that because they put the idea? Of
So so that's why he is like that. But it's it's so weird because it's his view of him has changed from the hostage situation. So he's had his whole life before, but because of that hostage situation, it's not even then. It's in that dream that he gets told. So it's like everything just gets turned on its head, and he's suddenly the bad guy. So nothing else mattered.
Yeah,
which is.
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense, but
if
it's
you're
like
dreaming, you don't think of it like
everything. I get.
The whole life before that point. Things make sense in the moment.
Because dreams skip all over the joint.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're viewing the whole scene in like third person.
True.
Like, I don't view my life like that.
So then they go into the snow.
What are we going to add, Matt?
Skipping anything?
I can see Matt's hand.
I was going to say that they told Robert, what have we been calling him? Robert Thomas? They told Thomas that they were going into Browning's dream.
Fisher? There we go.
Where did I get Thomas from? All my notes had him down as Robert, and you guys have been calling him by his last name. So.
I couldn't think of the first name.
Okay.
I think everyone in this movie
are surnames.
True.
Arthur, no,
right.
isn't?
Not Arthur.
Arthur is a surname. What's his first name?
King?
Last name.
Nice.
That'll do it.
So they told him they're going into Browning's dream.
Yeah.
Figure out why he was doing shit, but they ended up going inside Fisher's dream.
Again? Did they?
Right? Didn't they? Am I getting that wrong?
I got.
They said they were going into.
Which one is
they're going into Fisher's dream so he can like fit the safe and all that later on.
Yeah, so it'd have to be Fisher's dream because it's hell militarized.
Yeah.
But then it's
That's how they got him to agree to it because they said they were going into Browning's.
They lied to him.
Yeah.
Those pricks.
Sneaky. Also,
it's fucking hard to talk about after the fact.
There's also the side note.
So jumbled.
Your subconscious creates a vault or something to put information. It just does it naturally. That's how your brain thinks to hide information.
Yes.
Which gives them obviously something to go for in these worlds.
Can I just read out this? I didn't even read this before I tried to talk about it. But the way I've written it down is I'm not even sure if it makes sense. So Fisher believes that Browning is in his dream trying to sabotage him in order to find out about what Browning is up to. They go into Browning's dream, but that's just Fisher's subconscious projection of Browning. But that projection is based off of the Browning that Eames played.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't go into Browning's dream at all.
It's Ariadne.
They didn't have Browning.
She has the mate. Or is she just the architect of all these worlds?
Oh, no, yeah. So she's the architect of the snow one.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
I mean, she made all of them, right?
Eames is.
Oh.
Because
are you sure Eames isn't the subject and the architect is Ariadne? That's why she has
she built the snow one because she knew about the shortcut through the vents
but didn't know because Cobb asked if Eames told her about any shortcuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she built the world, but did he make modifications to it? Damn it.
It's so much.
Anyways.
We've done a lot of research here. That world is so... Did they just want a snow world? To make it look different?
Okay.
This whole bunker just reminded me of like a Hitman level.
I thought of a James Bond movie.
Yeah, I was thinking James
like
Bond
a
too.
GoldenEye level.
Yeah, because they're on skis shooting.
Yeah.
So when Saito goes deeper, he's meant to...
Don't say that.
When he goes into the next dream, he's meant to not feel the effects or slow down the effects at least of the bullet wound. So he's pretty close to death when he's in the car, when he's in the van getting flipped around.
Yep.
And then he goes into the next one where he's just having a nap. He was walking around fine, not caring about anything. Goes in to have a nap and then goes into the snow level. All of a sudden, he's coughing up blood.
Yeah.
It's like that escalated very quickly. Shouldn't it be slowing? Like he shouldn't be able to die that soon.
Yeah.
In the snow level.
Like, yeah, if that's meant to be 10 years.
Yeah.
And that bullet hole's getting bigger over that 10 years. He shouldn't feel it for another 5.
But also, did they get a sedative when they went from the hotel to the snow level? Because the time, like, he's got a couple of minutes there. We've got about 20 minutes here. It should be way longer than that, shouldn't it?
But maybe
that's
there's
what I
more of an
thought.
urgency because of other things going on.
Well, they said Arthur has 2 minutes and they have 20
Yeah.
or something. It should have been, like a week or
It should have been a very long,
somewhere around there.
a decent long, yeah. What happens to make... Oh, so they crash... Is it when he reverses through the barrier and then that's when the avalanche happens?
Yes.
So it went through 2 things, right?
Mm.
So in theory, when the car is rolling and there's the zero gravity or whatever, or it's turning, why isn't that happening in the snow level?
Like slightly.
Oh,
Or something, like anything.
I didn't think about that one. That's a good point.
Maybe it doesn't go as far. It just ends at that the hotel place. Like you're saying levels, like it's a game as well.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm thinking about levels on like floors.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No.
So it's level 2.
I mean, it should come through in some sort of fashion.
In
Because
some
the
way.
music comes through. It's still there, but it's quiet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Did they have like bad weather on the snow level? Was there any sign at all?
No, besides the
Not
avalanche.
really.
Other
No.
than the avalanche? No, I guess
Yeah.
not.
When the guys were on their skis behind the car, it was like a little bit windy, maybe, but even then.
Aim said it was windy because he didn't know if that song.
Oh,
he
yeah, I
only
thought
just heard that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I heard it, like a bit ago, but
Yeah.
then now we definitely heard it.
And then
Heard
it
it?
goes to shit at this point, doesn't it? What are you looking at, Matt?
You know what I'm looking at.
So Limbo is level. So what happened? So what happened? Anything in between there? Can we just go straight to?
Fisher
yeah,
gets
so-
killed.
Yeah, Cobb's gone pew, 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 shoot snipering everyone,
Mm.
and then Mole shows up,
To maul them.
fucks
I was
everything
gonna
up.
say you guys are saying the name so weird.
What is it?
Mole,
Mole.
Mole.
Molly. Mole.
It's MAL.
it is Mole. It is MAL.
Is it MAL?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the subtitles of MAL.
It's short for
Mole.
Molly.
She might be Marley.
How do you know it's short? How do you know it's short for Molly?
Because they said it.
Maybe it's short for Marley. Wait, that's
I'm
what you
sure
just
it got
said.
somewhere.
Well, the subtitle said Mole, like MAL.
Yeah.
But then a lot of, I don't know if you're watching on Amazon Prime, a lot of the words, like, if some people said them too quick, they were joined.
It's weird. Like I didn't watch it. I watched it on. I have it on Blu-ray, but
Yeah.
it's. Do they not get people to type them out?
No, I don't
Do
reckon
they?
they do.
Do they just auto-generate?
Sato, a lot of his words, they joined him. And I reckon it's because he has the accent.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure.
So she, Molly
Thank you.
kills
Marley.
him. Mally.
Molly and me.
She kills. Bring that up. She kills Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
2 shots to the chest, dead. They get in there and so they gotta go down. So what's her name? Ariadne and Cobb have to go another dream deep, which is the 4th level, which apparently is Limbo.
Mm.
Not Goog.
Which I don't.
This is where my
I don't
confusion
get
came into. I guess I'll
Sorry.
wait till even later. I don't know.
Okay.
No, what do you want to say?
It'll make sense later on, I guess.
Okay.
So they go in there, and the idea is to. I don't know how they timed it.
Well, she stole Fisher. She would have grabbed, as soon as he went into
Yeah.
Limbo, he would have stole Fisher.
Yeah, and she's kidnapped him.
Little
But
shit.
the idea is to give him a kick while he's in the Limbo, the 4th level,
Mm-hmm.
and then resuscitate him with the defibrillator
Yep.
on the 3rd level,
Mm-hmm.
to bring him back. Which I just don't get.
Like they didn't time it in any way.
Well, like there's no apparent timing. To do it, to push him off a building, that would be over like way too quick to get the exact timing right to resuscitate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It
of all
doesn't-
the stuff going on previously. Yeah.
Mm.
But you don't know how quick they found Marley.
Maui. Well, he knew where he was going. He knew where she'd be,
Mm.
and they went straight there. And then it's his house that he has. And then pretty much Cobb tells Mole that Cobb tells Mole that he's like, yeah, I'm done with you. We're finished. You're not really her.
Yeah, you're ruining the business.
Yeah, this isn't good for the business.
And this is where we find out that he inceptioned her. He made her believe that that world wasn't real.
And you needed to.
And then, so yeah, they killed themselves in that. But when she woke up, that idea was still there. So
Yeah.
She believed that the real world was fake. So she tried to kill herself in the real world.
Oh no, yeah, she did. Yeah.
Well, that's why they know to you going further to plant the idea because it works throughout. It ripples.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's a thing where this is why I asked about the totem, because she locks the totem away. That's her totem, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was Cobb's totem? But also, he goes looking for that totem and he finds it and he spins it.
Mm.
Does he see it spinning and go, that's not stopped spinning. We're in a dream. We need to wake up, because they've been in there for that long that it's like that's your reality now. That's what made me wonder if that was his spinny top and she's hidden that away so that they can spend forever down there, because she's like, this is it.
I think
This
she
is where
got to a
we'll be.
point where she didn't care if it was real or fake. So she did it at the top.
Mm.
I mean, well, that
But how did
was
he?
hers to begin with. But she locked it away when it wasn't spinning.
Yeah.
And then he spun it, and then I assume it stayed spinning until she saw it again, and then she realized that wasn't real.
That's not real. So yeah, so we need
I
to.
don't think he had one at the time, but he only
But
got it
then
after she died.
it's a thing where, like, he put that idea in her head, sure, but she'd
Yeah.
still know that spinny top is a thing.
Yeah.
So when she comes out into the real world and she does a spinny top, it's gonna fall over,
Ah, I see.
and she'd know that it's not real,
Mm.
unless the idea is that deep in her head.
I gotcha. She just knew instantly. She didn't even bother checking.
Yeah, she's just so certain that this world isn't real.
Yeah.
That's kind of muffed up. She gets upset about that when he tells her that,
Mm.
but that's just his projection of her.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he says he
Mm.
can't define her, like exactly how she looks and all this, and he's losing whatnot. So in the meantime, Ariadne's they finally find out where Fisher is, which I should have just looked the building because he's just on the balcony.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
hanging out
He's-
there.
Yeah, I just put him out there. So she takes him back by throwing him off.
Yeah, throws him off the building,
Just
and then
puts him back in the snow world.
which again is weird because you've got 2 holes in your chest. How are you coming back to life?
You forgot he died in that world.
Oh, that's how it works. My bad.
And then he skews his dad's opinion and makes it about he was disappointed that he tried to be the dad.
Yeah, tried to be the same.
Oh, but then you realize he made that whole thing
Yeah.
up. He's just solved his own problem in his head.
He's going crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's delusional.
Yeah. And he's like, Dad's like, I always wanted to be handsome like you. Like, Dad, stop.
Yeah.
And he opens the vault, finds out the code at this point, and Ames nods. It's like, I did
Yeah.
well. He pats himself on the back.
Explosions and shit. Everyone wakes up, perfect times. Everyone's in the elevator. Arthur should have killed himself when he was in
It's harsh.
No, sorry. He would have killed himself when he blows those cables up.
Yeah.
Like just the explosion would have been enough to kill you probably,
Yeah.
but also that cable. Oh god, that would be scary getting hit by that.
Yeah.
When it's flinging back. Ooh. And then the van hits the water, which does the next kick, which wakes them.
I'd say the lowest level what happens first.
The lowest level, which is
She jumps off the roof.
Yep.
So she wakes up
in the snow level.
in the snow level. Then that explosion kicks off.
Poor
Brings them back
her.
up to the elevator level.
Yeah, that would have been a fucking wake up call.
She's
Yeah.
like, oh, it wakes up. Oh,
That feeling for her. Fuck me. I couldn't imagine
Wake
that.
throws up in first class.
Where do we go from here?
Wakes up in the van
and they're sharing the air
and then
and nodding.
yeah, kissing again.
Yeah.
They wake up. Cobb doesn't wake up. Saito's still in the back. So them two are still under.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then when they get up for air, she tells him that Cobb went to save Sato.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
Which so he'd drown in the back of that car,
He
right?
would.
They like
Didn't they rescue her?
they left Saito and Cobb in the van
Oh, yeah.
and swam away. Where it's a thing like I don't get it because he does. I don't. Yeah. Does he wake up in that dream, or does he come straight from limbo? Once they
Maybe straight from
kill
limbo,
themselves
then.
in limbo, they just wake. They just
Yeah,
they
it could
skip
be.
past everything and go.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, is that whole last scene, is that real or is that not
Oh,
real
the
at all?
very last scene.
Like Cobb might not have woken up at all.
Yeah. So
And there's all these things that kind of hint at that.
I want to know what the timing is from when he left America to him coming back,
Mm.
supposedly.
Why?
I mean, his kids were close in age.
The kids were
Think-
older.
Were they?
What at the end?
Not a lot, though, right?
They're in the same clothes.
They're older, though. Not identical clothes. Look it up.
Mm.
I had to look it up.
Oh, okay. If you
The
look it up,
shoes are
okay.
different. The shoes are red in these dreams, but black at the end. And the kids are older, too.
What, so like a couple
Like,
of years?
not, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I wanted to know if there was like a
Daddy.
thing, like, is he still in limbo and he's created this and this?
Mm.
But to get Sato out, you have to realize you're in the dream, which once he realizes that, that means he can leave limbo at this point. So they both realize that.
So, but the different. So when Saito dies,
Mm.
he goes into limbo, but that would put him in the limbo that Cobb creates. That's his limbo. So he's in there. Then Cobb goes into limbo and doesn't come back. He wakes up on the beach, and then he gets dragged in, and then he realizes that, hey, you're Saito. What's the time period on that? How long was Cobb down there?
Mm.
90.
Because it's like he's
Too much.
he's forgotten. He
Yeah.
doesn't know what's going on,
Mm.
and it's
Yeah.
But he hasn't
Right.
aged.
he has an age. How terrifying are those eyes?
Yeah.
Like, eating his cereal, going.
Yeah.
Then they're like, let's make Revenant. He'll look great. And then they wake up on the plane, and they're like, Cobbett, he's looking around. He's like, what the fuck is this? He wouldn't be able to if he's been in there for as long
he'd
as
be fucked.
Saito looks old.
Yeah.
He would not be able to recognize anyone.
Yeah.
He'd forget names.
Mm.
Like
Snappers.
he'd be like 200 years old.
He's old as
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
now.
And then somehow Saito's like, oh yeah, I'll just make a phone call real quick, and it's
Yeah.
like that's
You
a
don't know how to
whole
use
life.
a phone, old man.
Old man.
Yeah, that's the bit that confuses me.
What?
Like, they made this whole big deal about if you die in the dream, you go to limbo.
Mhm.
But if you can just die in limbo and come back to stage one, what's the big deal?
They didn't die in limbo.
How did they get out of limbo?
They
Who said
realized
killed
they were
themselves
in the
limbo?
dream. They forget they're in the dream because they're in limbo so
Yeah.
long. So once they're that conscious, the sedative wears off. So it was lined up there.
There was just like the shot of the gun going in the air, and like that he was gonna shoot himself.
Or maybe it was okay then
Right.
to kill yourself.
Wait, what? What do you mean gun? Doesn't he just reach for the gun?
He like lifts it up. Sure.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Unless I was looking away at that exact moment.
Could be.
Okay.
You hated that moment.
I did.
Why are there no kids in the dream?
Dun dun dun
And it was
dun.
the same thing
Kids don't dream.
because they say Cobb and Marley were in there before,
One
and
division.
they died to get out.
One division.
So if it's the same thing with Cobb and Saito dying to get out, fuck. I had it all planned out in my head, but now I'm trying to put it into words. It's hard to explain. But I don't know. Yeah, just
I think it's the
dying
case of
in the dream has no consequence. 'cause you can just
sedative
get back
running
out.
off, running out, and knowing you're in the dream. Otherwise, you'll die in real life, or just be a vegetable.
Right.
When they wake up on the plane,
Mm.
the cool thing is the dream thing's fucking packed away, and everyone wakes up.
Mm.
But it's a thing where they all wake up at the same time. It seems
Yeah.
like, does it not? As soon as you disconnect it, does that not disconnect you from the world, the dream? What?
Yeah.
Anyways,
They never answered it, and they never will.
Yeah.
So wouldn't Fisher be like suspicious at this point
When
when he
he's-
wakes up surrounded by all these people from his dream?
yeah, but it's a dream. You don't really remember.
And then
it.
he's like,
Wrong Inception. Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, anyways.
And you were there, and you were there.
All right, Skeezy, what would you rate it?
It's a fucking good movie.
It is a fucking good movie.
The rewatchability because it's so confusing. You watch it like 8 times and still miss things.
Goes for a long time though, doesn't
the
it?
more you watch
Cast
it,
is fucking solid.
it's clever. The
Yeah.
more you watch, you're like, oh, I get that now.
Some of the scenes with like the reality breaking and the kicks kicking in and the water flying through.
Yeah.
There's some fucking gorgeous shots in it. So I want to say like 9.
That's a great number.
Yeah.
That's a number.
That is it.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, 8.5.
Okay.
Just to be different.
Yeah, all right. But I'm 9.
All right.
Solid 9. This
I
is
nine.
one of my this is my top 3 movies
Oh,
ever. So
Oh really?
yeah. Great film.
wonder what the
thoroughly
other
enjoyed
two
it.
are.
You'll never get to know. But thank you for watching or listening. If you like the podcast, give us a follow, give us a like if you want. Tell us in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube what you thought about this movie. What's your rating? What's your theory?
Are you a Dom Cobb?
Are you a Dom Cobb? Do you reckon it's Dominique?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Dominique. But yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Cheers.
My brain hurts.
And how?
And you have to go to work.
I do.